You forget things 5 minutes after reading them. You reread the same page 3 times and still can't recall a word. You highlight entire textbooks and remember nothing. Meanwhile, Tibetan monks memorize thousands of pages of scripture, word for word, no Google, no Anki, no phone. Some of them recite texts they learned 50 years ago without a single mistake. They're not geniuses. They don't have photographic memories. They have a system, one that's been hiding in plain sight for 2,500 years. I reverse engineered it, studied their methods, cross-referenced with modern neuroscience. It comes down to 3 principles that the same ones top memory athletes, elite students, and high-performance professionals use to learn at a level that looks supernatural. I'm about to show you exactly what they are. By the end of this, forgetting won't be your problem anymore. Chapter 1. The Rehearsal Trap. Most people think repetition equals memory. Read it again, highlight it again, review your notes again. Wrong. Passive repetition is the single biggest waste of study time in existence. You feel productive. Your brain is doing nothing. Robert Bjork at UCLA calls this the illusion of fluency. When you see the same words over and over, they feel familiar. Familiar feels like knowing. It isn't. You fooled yourself. The test arrives and your mind goes blank. Because you never actually retrieved the information. You just recognized it. Monks don't read silently, they chant. Out loud, every single time. Why? Because vocalization forces retrieval. Your mouth has to produce the words from memory. Your ears hear them back. Your body creates a physical rhythm. 3 sensory channels firing simultaneously. That's not reviewing information. That's encoding it. Here's what most people do. They read, they highlight, they close the book feeling satisfied. Their brain files it under things I've seen before, not things I actually know. Next morning, gone. Here's what monks do. They close the book first, then they speak, then they check. Every single session. No passive review, ever. The research backs this completely. Roediger and Karpecki at Washington University proved in 2006 that students who tested themselves retained 50% more than students who just reread. 50%. Retrieval isn't just a test, it is the learning. Stop reviewing. Start retrieving. Now you know what to do. But here's the problem. Retrieving fast is useless if you forget fast. That's where the second principle comes in. Chapter 2. The spacing paradox. Most people cram. Why? Because it works short term. One brutal session, information loaded, exam passed. Next week, completely gone. Your brain doesn't work on a deadline. It works on a survival filter. Information that appears once gets flagged as unimportant. Why store something you'll never need again? Your brain is logical. It deletes what seems useless. Monks study the same texts for years, not because they're slow, because they understand something neuroscience has only recently confirmed. Hermann Ebbinghaus mapped this in 1885. The forgetting curve. You lose 70% of new information within 24 hours. By day 7, almost nothing remains. The fix isn't studying more. It's studying at the right moment. Review just before you forget. Not before. Not after. Exactly before. That moment of struggle, that strain to recall, that's the signal your brain needs. It interprets the difficulty as survival critical. Locks it in permanently. Monks call this repetition with intervals. Science calls it spaced repetition. You call it something you've heard of but never actually use. 1 session equals nothing. 10 sessions across 10 days equals permanent memory. Same total time. Completely different result. Spacing isn't studying more. It's studying smarter. But knowing when to review means nothing if you can't remember where you stored the information in the first place. That's exactly what the third principle solves. Hit subscribe before you forget it. We build systems here. Chapter 3. Memory Architecture. Most people store information as words. Definition of mitosis. List of historical dates. Steps of the process. Words are the weakest memory format your brain has. Your brain didn't evolve to remember text. It evolved to navigate space. Monks build what neuroscientists now call memory palaces. Except monks were using them for millennia before the term existed. They assign each piece of information to a physical location in an imagined space. A monastery they know perfectly. Each doorway holds a concept. Each courtyard holds a chapter. Each altar holds a formula. Why does this work? Your hippocampus, the brain's memory center, evolved to map physical environments. Location memory is ancient, powerful, and nearly impossible to forget. You probably still remember the exact layout of your childhood home. Every room, every corner, every hiding spot. That's spatial memory. It's the most durable memory system you have. You're not using it. You're trying to memorize floating words instead. No anchor, no location, no chance. Here's how to actually do it. Pick any space you know, your apartment, your school route, your morning walk. Assign one idea to each location. Make the image bizarre, exaggerated, ridiculous. The weirder the mental image, the stronger the anchor. Walk through the space mentally while retrieving. Your brain follows the path. The information follows automatically. Memory champions at the World Memory Championship memorize thousands of random digits using this exact system. Not because they're gifted, because they learn the architecture. You've been trying to build a house by throwing bricks into a pile. They build it room by room. Most people hear this and think it sounds complicated. It isn't. It just requires you to stop doing what feels easy. Passive reading feels like studying. It isn't. Active retrieval feels like struggling. That's the point. Roediger proved it. Bjork proved it. Ebbinghaus proved it. Monks knew it before any of them were born. 3 principles. Retrieve instead of review. Space your repetitions. Build memory architecture. That's it. No app required, no subscription, no highlighting. Just a closed book and a working brain. But here's the problem, though. You can now remember everything. But if you're absorbing the wrong 80%, what's the point? Perfect recall of useless information is still useless. Most people sharpen their memory and aim it at the wrong target. They learn fast, but learn garbage. That's why I made this video breaking down exactly how to find the crucial 20% and learn anything so fast it's almost unfair. Watch it next.